I know, I'm a little bit late to the party on this one, but you cannot fault my dedication because I've just returned back to my house after a total travel time of around about 20 hours flying home from the Philippines. And the reason that I'm here recording this video when really I should be in bed is because of this. The fact that honey blocks and slime blocks don't stick to one another in the latest snapshot. This has me pretty thrilled. So let's see what my incredibly jet-lagged brain can do with it. The first thing that comes to mind is building very large piston doors, because now we can actually move entire areas of blocks just by having slime blocks and honey blocks next to one another, because beforehand all of these slime blocks would stick to one another. You wouldn't be able to move such a large area of blocks, but now each one of these strips is independent of one another, so they're not going to add up towards the block count. Things are going pretty well so far. I think I've got the bottom half all completed, so we've got a triple piston extender down at the bottom here, which is going to be shooting up all of these blocks. So I guess this will be the bottom half of our door. The top half will then come down with another triple piston extender, so this will give us a really simple 6x6 piston door. Okay, I understand a lot of you take the mick out of me for my fairly liberal use of the term simple, but trust me, this is simple for a 6x6 piston door. I'm really curious to see what this looks like now. Right, here we go. Oh my word, that's a thing of beauty, isn't it? I mean, it didn't work. It totally didn't work. But just watching all of those blocks moving perfectly in sync, it doesn't feel like Minecraft. This is the sort of stuff that I never thought we'd see in vanilla Minecraft. And after fixing it up and having it actually function, it now looks even cooler. I mean, look at this. As far as piston doors go, this is already a really, really cool one. So when we add the top half to this and we get the splitting motion happening, I think I'm going to fall off my chair. That is, if I can actually build the thing. It's been so long since I've built any form of tileable vertical triple piston extenders. I'm getting myself completely lost here. At least 1 hour later, I have finally managed to get this thing working using a highly modified version of Skyflip's triple piston extender. This thing is now functioning and looking nuts. It looks totally nuts. I know I've said it all along how crazy these things are, but it looks like something from the future. This looks like something out of Star Trek or Star Wars or anything with star at the start of it. It fits right in. And you know, it really does fit right in. It fits right in anywhere because it's so skinny, and more importantly, it's fully expandable as well. So say, for example, you've got a 6 high, 15 wide space that you want to open up in piston door form. This is the way to do it. Honey blocks. Let's see what else we can do with them. Now, I'm just really curious. I don't know if there's any use for what I'm about to do here, but I just think it will look hilarious if this does function. My brain is telling me that the logic is there and it should function, but my heart is telling me that this shouldn't be possible in Minecraft. I guess there's only really one way to find out. If we flick this lever here... No way! So we can now actually make sticky piston feed tapes. Of course we can. I mean, it makes sense that we can. But the fact that we can has me a little bit thrown off, because look, we can now put things onto the sides of piston feed tapes. I mean, we can have multiple things on the sides of piston feed tapes. I don't know what to do with this information. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to be able to do without really knowing why I wanted to be able to do it. Now, I think the main reason why the slime blocks and the honey blocks is such an important change to Minecraft is, of course, for flying machines. Now, the first thing that I want to try out is something really simple, which is running lots and lots of flying machines together to create one big, completely solid block. Something that we've never really been able to do before. But building large-scale flying machines definitely highlights the one big difference between slime blocks and honey blocks. The fact that honey blocks, they're transparent blocks. So, for example, this sort of situation right here, which is something that we do all the time with slime block flying machines, where you run an observer into a slime block that then powers a piston, for example like this, doesn't work with honey blocks. This setup right here, not going to function. So we have to get a little bit creative, a tiny bit creative, with the way that we do things. Is that potentially limiting? Yes. If I was Mojang, would I change it? Potentially. I probably would make the honey block a solid block when it comes to redstone, but am I complaining about it? No. I'm very happy that we have these two different types of slime blocks in the game. I'm not going to be asking for too much more. And also, the fact that actually we now have a transparent version of the slime block, That's actually quite cool. I mean, I'm sure there's certain circumstances where we don't want the slime block to be solid. We don't want things being powered like this. So it could actually come in handy. Anyway, back to our flying machine. This is what it looks like so far. Don't worry, it is going to get bigger than this, but this is just going to be the proof of concept. I want to see if it works, and it does. It disappears out of existence quite often. Like, it seems to be flicking on and off. But there we go, it's reached the other end, and we hit the button again, and it travels back. So we have got a solid wall of flying machine. But of course we can go much, much bigger than this by adding piston extensions to the top. So if I just remove a few of these, just to give us a slightly higher block push limit, and then I place in a few of these, and then we place in a few observers in a line like this, then we can just kind of scale upwards with our flying machine and create enormous sweepers. Now, the thing that this could be really useful for, if we were to do it downwards, is, for example, removing large areas of water. Can you imagine? You could just sweep out entire spaces of ocean using something like this. Especially if you're going to build it to the scale that I'm going to do on this next model. It already looks pretty nuts. And now that we have pretty much all the strips in place, it looks even more nuts. I am very excited, but also slightly scared to see this thing move, because I imagine it's going to be a flashing, laggy mess. Multiple backups later, and with my voice totally beginning to fail on me, let's give this a whirl. Okay, so if I place down a button, give it a press. That is actually all working. The computer is struggling to show all of it at once, but look how nuts this is. So we have got a completely solid block of slime blocks and honey blocks flying through the landscape right now. And how many blocks wide is that? That is, I think it's about 9 blocks wide. It's really difficult to count when it's flashing like this, but I think it's 9 blocks wide, which in the grand scheme of things is quite small. I imagine the guys on the Sidecraft server, they will probably build one that's all the way across to clear out huge areas of ocean. That would be the move. Now, obviously, when it comes to flying machines, I can't talk about them without talking about walking things. So let's see how good of a leg I can make with the 2 different colors of slime blocks that we have now. I need to stop calling them slime blocks. We need to see how good of a leg I can make with honey blocks and slime blocks. They're 2 separate things. And to get things started, I've run into a bit of an issue. I don't know if this has always been the case, but this guy doesn't seem to realize that he's powered. That redstone block just moved up underneath him, and he hasn't recognized the fact that, yeah, that should be extended right now. It's kind of the oh my word. Oh no, that's a big problem. Because that's the basis of all my leg designs. So that's got to be a bug, surely. Yes, it definitely is, because that stops a lot of really important things functioning. Thankfully, this is only a snapshot. I imagine it will be fixed. But because we are playing in said snapshot and there are no further snapshots, this is all we've got. So that means I'm not going to be building any walking machines today, which is a bit of a shame. However, I have actually come up with a design for a leg that does function. I just have to manually update the piston, whereas normally this would happen automatically. But you can see it's working, and you can see just how compact it is. I mean, check this out. So me placing in that block right there is just updating that piston, causing it to go back down like the leg would. But as you can see, this system is so cool looking. It's so much nicer than any of my previous designs with regular slime blocks, because in those there were so many air gaps, they didn't look particularly tight, whereas this, I mean, it is so neat and compact. I cannot wait to see what people do with these things. So there we go. I feel I was just scratching the surface of what is possible with these things. Of course, over the next couple of days while I'm resting up, trying to heal this cold that I have and also recover from my jet lag, I'm going to be doing plenty of experimentation, trying to work out all the different contraptions and all the different uses for this new redstone component. This is probably the biggest change to redstone since I don't know when. I really can't remember the last major change like this. I guess the observer. I mean, this is a really, really big deal. So I am super, super, super excited to play with these things. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Wow. I am so happy that I am now back at home for a decent length of time. As much as I've loved traveling as much as I have this year, I've been to about 5 different trips in the past 2 months, and I've probably spent more time away than I have at home, and I'm so tired. One.